All right, so just in time for Black Friday and holiday shopping, we're going to be talking about sales tax and tip. You might not be tipping very much these days because you're probably having to not go in restaurants, but sales tax is still a thing, that's for sure. So we're going to keep talking about percents today because hopefully you do know that sales tax and tips are percentages. For example, with tips, the better your service is, so the better your waiter or waitress is, the more you should tip, the higher the percentage of the tip should be. And so what I mean by that is like a percentage of how much you've paid will be how much your tip is. So if your food is more expensive, then your tip should be more. Same thing with sales tax. If what you're buying costs more, then your sales tax is going to cost more because it's always a percentage of whatever the price is. But kind of the formula or the proportion is still a proportion that we use to solve these types of problems is going to be new over original. So your new price over your original price. On the other side, still over here is going to be your percentage plus 100 this time, and then it's still going to be over 100. Now the reason we have the percent plus 100 would be because, for example, for your food, you're paying 100% of that bill, and then you're paying an additional amount to include the tax and the tip. So it's not like you're taking anything away. So once again, you're paying 100% of your bill. It's not like you can just pay for your cheeseburger and not pay for your fries and drink. You have to pay for everything. So you pay for 100% of the bill, plus you pay for the percent that is your sales tax or tip. So that's why we have that plus sign right there. We're going to do a couple examples, and then we'll keep doing this tomorrow as well. All right. So let's say that your original amount is $3, and let's say your sales tax is 7%. Okay. So proportion, so you're always going to be missing one spot. So that's why I only gave you two, because one spot's still going to be missing. So let's fill in what we do know. So if I have my proportion, okay, 100 here. All right, well I see I have an original cost. All right, well original has to go on the box. So $3 is going to go down here. Then I see I have this sales tax. Well, obviously the tax is a percentage, so the percent always goes over here. But remember, it's not you're not just putting 7. You're putting this 7% plus 100. So it would really be 107. Okay. So now since you have all three of these spots, here's your X. All right. So now you would use your calculator to solve this proportion. So the first thing you'd have to do is you would do 107 times 3, which is 321. Let me get a different color. So I did this right here, and I got 321, which is important because now I know that this over here needs to be 321, excuse me. And then my next step will be just to divide. So I get my 321 divided by 100, and I get 3.21. So now this tells me, I'll write it over here, X equals $3.21. So what that means is your new price, the price that you're actually going to write at the bottom of the bill or when you sign off with your card or whatever, is $3.21. So what this tells me is that my food costs $3, but since I ended up paying $3.21, that tells me the tax will be small as well. So it makes sense that it's only 21 cents. Okay, let's try another one. All right, let's try $6.25, and let's say your sales tax is 6%. All right, so let's fill in what we know. So here's my proportion. Remember, new over original. So once again, I don't have a new. Neither one of these says new, so it's not going in the new spot. I do have an original amount. And what it means by original is before you pay tax or before you pay tip. What was that original amount that when you got your bill, that's what it said at the bottom, before you paid tax and tip. All right, and now I've got to, remember, you do 100 plus the percent. So 100 plus 6 would be 106. Okay? So once again, I need to cross multiply. Cross multiply these two right here. So I'm doing $6.25 times 106, and I get 662.5. Okay? Now I get that, and I divide it by 100, and I get $6 and we'll have to round it, 63 cents. Okay? So once again, when I got my bill, it said $6.25, and then I ended up only just doing about 40 cents worth of sales tax. Okay? Now sometimes sales tax can be a lot more. It all just depends on how much you're buying and how much your food costs or your shirt costs or whatever it is you're buying. All right, let's look at another one. Let's say this time they tell me my original costs $5, and let's say they say my new cost is $5.30. Okay, so this time they gave me the new and the original, but they did not give me the percentage, so I need to be looking for that this time. So since they did not give me a percentage, I already know that my X has to go here because there's no percent. Okay, new goes on top, so $5.30 is on top, and then $5 is underneath. Okay, I'm going to cross multiply this right here. So I would do 5.30 times 100, and I get 530. So now I'm going to do the same thing over here. So I'm going to do 530 divided by that $5, and I get 106. And that just means that is, because remember, the problem called for 100 plus the percentage, so your percent is really just a 6% sales tax. Okay? So it doesn't matter which spot you're missing, you can always figure it out. You're just still doing those proportions like we've been doing for a couple of days now. All right? Let's do the same thing, except now we're looking at tip. Okay, so tip, you're going to do the same way. You're using the exact same formula. Okay, new over original, and then the percent plus 100 over 100. That doesn't change at all. The only thing that kind of changes now is that you control how much you leave. Like you control how much tip you're leaving for the waiter or waitress, whereas tax, you don't have any control over that. That's set by the government, so you don't have any control over it. But the tip you have a little more control over. All right, so let's say your original amount is $18.25, and let's say you want to leave a 10% tip. Okay, so when we go to set this up, they gave me the original. Original goes on the bottom. I know this has to be 100. They did give me a percentage. Remember, it's 100 plus that percent, so 100 plus 10 would leave me with 110, and that means I'm missing this spot right here. So I'm going to cross multiply. So 18.25 times 110, and then I have to divide by 100, and I get $20, and we have to round 8 cents. All right, so your meal costs $18.25, and then you decide to leave about a $2 tip, so you end up spending $20.08 when you go to this restaurant. Okay, let's look at another one. All right, let's say your original amount is $52.50. That's a 50, sorry. And then your new amount is $63. All right, so once again, they didn't give me a percent this time. They just told me the new and the original. So that means I'm missing my percent. So I'm going to put an X in that percent spot. Remember, original goes on the bottom. So it's 52 over 50, $50.50 over 63. All right, I'm going to cross multiply 63 times 100. So 63 times 100, I get 6,300, and then divided by 52.50, and I get 120. So remember, that's 120 in the percent spot, but that just means that you're leaving a 20% tip, because remember, you had 100 plus that 20. So a 20% tip is pretty good. All right, most people would be happy with that. All right, we got time for about one more. All right, so let's see. This time they're going to give me the tip amount. So 10.5%. And then your new cost is $11.05. All right, so we're looking for that original cost. So we're looking for how much this food cost before we left our tip. Okay, so here's 100. Okay, remember I do 100 plus my percent, so this is going to be 110.5%. I didn't mean to put that percent sign, sorry. And then they gave me the new amount, would go right here. So therefore I'm missing the original. So when I go and cross multiply, $11.05 times 100, and then divided by 110.5, we get 10. So what that means is that my meal cost $10. I ended up leaving $1.05 for tip, so I ended up $11.05. Okay? So tax or tip, you're going to use the exact same formula. New over original equals the percent plus 100 over 100. Remember, your new amount is what, like, when you leave the restaurant, this is how much you're going to pay. Okay? This original amount is what the waiter or the bottom of the receipt says when you first get your bill. Okay? Because then you add on your tip or your tax. This is where the tip or the tax percent goes, and then obviously 100 is going to stay the same. Okay? So we'll keep practicing with this, and if you have any questions, just let me know.